I'm giving a random budget to every single Serie A team starting with Como. What budget will they be landing on? And they get 32 million for one player. And with that, they've gone ahead and signed Nathan Ake, a good and strong center back to their team. But wait a minute. Do you need some cheap coins for the new FC 26? Well, look no further, because here at Top Up Live, you can get cheap and reliable coins for the new game. And if you use my discount code FARDEN, then you get 12% off on top of that. Link is in the description. We will be spinning this wheel of budget for every single team, but it's not as simple. Among all the budgets are 3 negative budgets, which 3 teams will get, which is the amount of value they have to sell the players for. In the end, we'll simulate a Serie A season to see who can win it after all this chaos. But for now, let's spin the wheel of clubs again and see who we get. And this time we've landed on Sassuolo. But what budget is Sassuolo getting? And they get 400 million for 2 players, which is insane. Their team does need improvement, especially their goalkeeper and attack. So first, they've signed the best goalkeeper on the game, and also most expensive, which is Donnarumma. And he costed 130 million, which means they have enough to sign the most expensive player on the whole game, which is no other than Kylian Mbappe. He's joining for a whopping 270 million. That's insane, but that does also improve their team, as it obviously should. They literally have the best keeper and striker on the game now. Let's spin the wheel of clubs again and see who we get, and this time it lands on Inter Milan. Now let's spin for their budget and see what they get. They get 70 million for one player. That's not a lot compared to Sassuolo, and their team is still stacked, so who can they even bring to improve the team? And they have chosen to bring in Enzo Fernandez. 70 million straight up. Enzo joins Inter's midfield. A decent upgrade. Nothing major though, because Inter Milan was already really good. Back to the wheel we go. Who's next? And we land on Cagliari this time. Now, let's spin for their budget. Oh no, they've hit one of the punishments. Minus 75 million for 2 players. That means they actually have to sell. They don't even have 2 players worth a combined of 75 million, so they just have to sell their 2 most valuable players, which is Caprilli for 20 million and Esposito for 15 million. That's a total of 35 and still leaves them weakened. Cagliari definitely didn't get better here. But let's spin again and see who we get, and this time we land on Lecce. And what do they get? Budget spin gives them 150 million for 3 players. That's a lot. They definitely need a defender, midfielder, and also an attacker. So let's see what they do. Their first move is Ronald Araujo for 40 million. Then they've also Tchouaméni for the midfield for only 50 million. And their last signing is the star striker himself, Omar Marmoush, the striker from Manchester City, for only 60 million. Lecce has actually built a really solid team with this budget. They've improved in pretty much every area, so that could be huge for them. But let's spin again and see the next team. And it's Parma now. What are they getting? And their budget spin gives them a crazy 300 million for 6 players. They can basically upgrade half their team now, so let's just see what they've done. First is Courtois for 20 million. Then Marquinhos for the defense for only 55 million. Tielemans for 60 million. And Fabian Ruiz for 50 million. They've also added Iñaki Williams for 25 million. And then their final signing is going to be Guirassy as their new star striker. Big signing for only 85 million as well. That's basically now half their team, which is world class. Parma might be the best side now, but we'll have to wait until the end to find that out. Back to the wheel for yet another spin, and we land on Fiorentina. Let's spin their budget and see what they're getting, and they get 105 million for 4 players. So also still a decent amount of player, but less budget per signing. Let's see what they're going to do. They started off with Ginter for 20, then Laporte also for 20, and even John Stones for yet another 20, and the final one is James Maddison for 45 million. Nothing crazy, but still 4 strong additions to their team. They could definitely hit that top 6 spot. Just like how you should hit that subscribe button within the next 5 seconds, or else Benzema will come after you the next 15 years. Wait, you subscribed? Okay, good. Anyways, let's spin again and see where we land, and this time, it's Atalanta. Let's spin for their budget now. And they land on 125 million for 3 players. They've gone for Grimaldo at 40, solid left back. That's still a decent amount for 3 players, so let's see what they're improving. First, they've signed Grimaldo for only 40 million. Then they've gone with Diaby for 55 million. And last signing is Tapsoba at 30. 3 really balanced signings for Atalanta. They look very solid now, especially out in the wings. But you already know it's time to spin the wheel again, and this time we get Cremonese. Let's spin and spin their budget, and they get 100 million for 1 player, so only 1 player to sign, worth 100 million. I think they need a midfielder, so let's see who they go for. And they've used all of it on the Arsenal defensive midfielder Declan Rice. Rice is one one of the best midfielders in the world, and now he's joining Cremonese. And he does solidify that midfield, but only one signing for Cremonense, but a very solid one. Let's spin the wheel of clubs again, and we now land on Hellas Verona. What is Hellas Verona getting? And for them, it'll be 60 million for one player. Again, also one player only allowed. And they've gone for Ezequiel Palacios, a quality midfielder as well. Not same level as Declan Rice, but they also had 40 million less. But still, for Verona, this is still a very strong improvement to them. Now back to the wheel we go, and this time we land on Pisa. What is Pisa getting? 250 million for one player? That's insane. They can literally get anyone they want to their team. And they've gone with Jude Bellingham. He's actually the second most expensive player on the game, so that makes sense. But still, Bellingham to Pisa is crazy. Bellingham just needs to carry that midfield. Let's see if he can even do it. It's time for another spin on the wheel thought, and this time it lands on AC Milan. What budget are they playing with? Their budget is small, just 25 million for one player. They definitely need to spend it on a center back, but let's see who. And they've picked up Anton. Nothing crazy, but for 25 million, that's still a decent upgrade to their team. It's better than nothing. Time for yet another spin on the wheel of clubs, and this time it lands on Genoa. What budget are they getting? Their budget spin is massive, 600 million for 5 players. Again, that's almost half of their team getting improved. With a budget of 120 million per player, so let's see what they go for. First is Alisson for 60, one of the best keepers in the world. Then Trent Alexander-Arnold for 90 million. After that, it's Gabriel for 100 million. Then Bukayo Saka for 150. And finally, they are left with 200 million for one player. And they spent it all on Pedri, one of the best young midfielders in the world. Genoa just became a super club. They might be the new title contenders now. They definitely have a chance with this team. Let's just keep the wheel of clubs spinning again. And it's Napoli this time. Budget spin for them, and the budget spin gives them only 15 million for one player. And you know who it has to be. Yes, that's right, Karim the Dream Benzema. It's too perfect not to do it. He's joining for 15 million. And he will actually be starting, so that still will help Napoli in a way. The wheel spins again to get another club, and we land on Torino now. What's their budget? And it's only 40 million for one player. Not the most, but maybe they need a midfielder. So they've spent it on Milinkovic-Savic, a good midfielder, and a small but good noticeable upgrade to their team. Back to the wheel we go now, and this time it's Udinese that we get. What is Udinese getting? And they land on the 240 million for 4 players. That's a pretty decent amount. 4 new players to this team for 240 million. What can they get? They've first of all signed Virgil van Dijk for 60 million, Theo Hernandez for 50 million, Jan Oblak for 50 million, and last one is actually Hugo Ekitike for 80 million. 4 very strong players. Udinese massively improved here, and I know I say it a lot, but they're also a title contender now. Only 4 teams left and still 2 punishments. And next spin lands on Roma. What will Roma be getting? And their budget spin gives them 300 million for 3 players. That's pretty good. They do need some better wingers, so let's see what they do. First is Rafinha for the left mid for 110 million. Then we have Michael Elise for another 110 million. And finally, it's actually Bruno Fernandes, a player we don't often see in these videos. But he has signed for 80 million. Their wings are now their strongest points. And they also have Bruno Fernandes for the attack. This team is also yet another Italian superpower. Italy now has a crazy amount of superpower teams. Let's see if we can get another one. We do actually land on a current superpower, which is Juventus, but 2 punishments and 1 budget left. And they land on a punishment which is minus 50 million for 1 player. So 1 player worth 50 million has to leave. And the one leaving is Locatelli from their midfield. That does affect them, but not really that much. They're mostly still the same though, and only 2 clubs left on the wheel, and we land on Lazio first. Will they get a budget or punishment? And they get a budget of 200 million for 1 player. They can also sign the best player in the world now. And the player that they've spent all of it on is actually Lamine Yamal, the greatest young talent in the world. Lazio with Yamal would be insane. Yamal definitely needs to carry this team, but would he even be able to do it? Anyways, there is only 1 team left on the wheel, and that's Bologna. And there is only the punishment of minus 125 million for 4 players left. And the ones leaving Bologna are Orsolini for 40, Ferguson for 25, Castro for 20, and Freuler for 20. They also didn't have 4 players worth 125 million, so they just lost their 4 most valuable. Anyways, all the teams have been given a random budget now. We've seen some crazy stuff happen, such as Mbappe to Sassuolo, or Parma getting 6 world-class players, or even Jude Bellingham to Pisa. And the 3 teams that ended up getting punished were Cagliari, Juventus, and then also Bologna. So let's simulate a season and see how they do. Okay, we've now simulated till the end. Let's just slowly reveal the table. So the 3 relegated teams were Hellas Verona, Cagliari, and then also Cremonense. That makes sense. Udinese got 14th, despite getting 4 players, and in 13th we have Torino. Lazio got 12th with Yamal, and in 11th we have the Serie A champions Napoli. Genoa gets 10th even with their 5 world-class signings. And in 9th, we have Fiorentina. Comp gets 8th, and in 7th, we have Sassuolo. Roma 6th, Atalanta 5th, and Juventus in 4th, with AC Milan in 3rd. Then who won? Inter Milan got 2nd, but the winner was actually Parma, which is insane to see.